Happy New Year, everybody. Well, here we are, 10 years in the making, and Stranger Things is finally having its series finale. Was it worth the wait? Well, let's dive into it. For me, I am 50-50 on this series, but I don't think it is a terrible series. It's not on the level of Game of Thrones or Dexter or Killing Eve, series known for absolutely botching their endings. I think that this one is right in the middle, though. Stranger Things season finale, right in the middle. The reason that I'm dead in the middle is because I think for 10 years of story, that this didn't 100% hit the nail on the head in regards to the Vecna and Mind Flayer section of the story. The one thing that I think they excelled at definitely has to be the emotional payoff of the characters. I think they did a good job at selling that. I think they did a good job with Steve's ending and basically all of the character endings. I liked where they ended up. And the payoff of the very final scene with the Dungeons and Dragons was really good. That was awesome. I'm definitely in favor of the fact that the Duffer brothers definitely tried to resolve as many personal threads as possible. So I will give them credit for that. Unfortunately, this is when the negatives start to come out for me. The Mind Flayer and Vecna. So this is where things really fall apart for me. First of all, the fight was not that long. And not only not that long, but the flare gets dealt with incredibly easy. There are also things happening in this fight that I just hate, like the fact that Nancy is outrunning this thing, even with a head start, due to the natural size of the Mind Flayer. You're not going to outrun this thing, like period. There's also this weird thing. It's like, okay, we have Vecna and the Mind Flayer together here, and with them together, they hurt less than a single Demogorgon. And to me, that is absolutely ridiculous. And that's also why I think that the whole Meat Flayer situation, where the Mind Flayer absorbed the organic material to create its body, I hate it. And I hate it because it's like, why would you do that? If your super body could be killed this easily and so easily, why would you sacrifice all of your army to have a super body if you can just die like this? Like, realistically, keeping the demon bats and the demogorgons and all that would have been a way more effective way to take over Earth than this thing, basically. Another shitty thing is the hive mind hurts thing, where they're connected, and if one feels it, they all feel it. And to me, this just gets really stupid the more you think about it, because people made a bunch of different assumptions here. Like, for example, maybe Will has to be close to them. Maybe Will can only feel it if they get burnt. Well, guess what? Will was pretty close to this super Godzilla spider monster. Okay. And the spider monster got burnt. Will didn't feel it. Then later on, Vecna gets his fucking head chopped off and Will doesn't feel it. So, like, this whole hurt thing is just a bunch of bullshit. Then we get to the ending part with the military, and it's like, what in the hell? So, first of all, Linda Hamilton was severely underutilized. All she basically does is gets out of a truck, looks at a thing, and then that's it. And why is that? I don't know why that is, but that's what the Duffer brothers decided to do. I hate how this whole subplot here was instantaneously resolved. Um, as soon as the gate closes, it's like it just skips 18 months ahead, and all of a sudden everything's fine. But realistically, that's not what would have happened, right? Like, that's, and I know what people are saying. They're going to say, well, maybe there was a deal with the military, as long as you don't talk about it, you don't get imprisoned or go to jail and all that stuff. I think that's just cope. There's not a chance in hell that they would let these people go after murdering so many fucking military people like Hopper and that. It's crazy, dude. Like, it's just, they, Jesus. Like, there should have just been a little more resolution there. I think that Dr. K should have been dealt with. Like, absolutely, there should have been a definitive end to her character specifically. But, oops. Basically, it sucks because you can see that they played this really safe. They didn't want to hurt anyone and stuff. And it only makes sense that the reason they wouldn't want to hurt any of these characters is because they're going to come back at some point, probably when in the future, like 5 years from now or something, when they're more older. That's the only thing that really makes sense with that to me, anyways. So overall, I just feel like, they had 2 hours here, and there was absolutely going to be things that they could not finish. There was. But like, god damn, man, to just skip over Vecna and the Mind Flare as if they're just minor inconveniences to these kids is crazy. There didn't feel like there was enough stakes. Obviously, like I said, I think that the kids all stayed alive because Netflix absolutely intends to, like, do something with them in the future. But like, I think it was the wrong move. There should have been some kids that died, unfortunately. Listen, it's just the way it should have been. So in conclusion, where are we exactly? Well, I think myself, when it comes to a series finale, this is 6 out of 10. I don't think it's as shitty as some of these other series out there. For me, the absolute worst one on the planet is Supernatural. I think what they did with Supernatural was absolute horse shit. I didn't feel that from this series though, but here's what I do think. This is what my gut tells me. I think that people are going to be debating Stranger Things for a long time about what happened in this finale, because there are many more things that I haven't talked about that are plot holes or contrived instances, loose threads that are probably never going to ever actually be picked up. And I think people are going to be debating that for a little while here. For example, why did Hopper end up in Russia in season 3? Like, there's all these different things that it unfortunately tells me that this entire story was made up as they went along. And that's why there's so many holes in the story, because it wasn't designed from the get-go, right? And I noticed that there was people online saying that this was originally supposed to be just a 1-season show. So there's a lot of holes here, man. And it's like, for me, it takes the enjoyment away from the finale, because I wanted it to be bigger than this and better than this, especially in regards to the Mind Flare. I really wanted to see more about that. And the fact that it gets defeated so effortlessly is a joke, bro. Overall, this season definitely either needed more episodes, or this finale needed to be like 4 or 5 hours long, man. Like, they needed to cover a lot more stuff, and they just didn't get to it. And I don't know if we ever will get to it, unfortunately, but it is what it is. Overall, guys, that'll be it for me. But man, this is a 6 out of 10 for me. I just they didn't hit it in the right way, and that's all I'm gonna say. So I'll catch you guys later. Happy New Year. Have a good one. Peace.